Good morning, everybody. Now that we have learned all about stories and the plot, the setting, the characters, the beginning, the middle, and the end, it's time for us to move on to our next writing unit, and that is going to be poetry. Poetry. Think about if you've ever heard of that word before. So I wrote up the definition of poetry for you here. Poetry. Poetry is a type of writing, just like stories are a type of writing, where the words are arranged based on their meaning. So what is it about? What do they mean? The sounds they make, and the rhythm to share ideas and feelings. So unlike stories, poems have a bit more flow to them. They often have some sort of rhythm that could have rhyming. It doesn't always have rhyming in it. That express feelings or meaning. They can be funny. So I'm going to read you a few poems to give you an example of sort of what they sound like. Okay, of sort of what they sound like. So I've got one of my favorite poetry books. It's called Falling Up. And I'm going to just go through and pick a few poems and I'm going to read them to you. Let's start with this one. So most poems always start with a title. So this first one, I'll always tell you the title of the poem, which always gives you an idea of what the poem is about. So this one's called Sun Hat. And on this page, there's a nice big picture of this ginormous sun hat. It says, "Oh, what a sweet child is Hannah Hyde. Oh, how thoughtful, oh, how nice. To buy a hat with a brim so wide, it gives shade to the frogs and the worms and the mice." So this one does have a little bit of rhyming with nice and mice and hide and wide. So a little bit of rhyming. It also has words. Let's go through. We've got our words that are arranged in a way based on their meaning. So it's thoughtfully written, that have nice sounds. So this one used rhyme and rhythm as each line flows from one to the next. All right, let's pick another one to read together. Another thing is that poetry can be really long, like this one here, or really short, like this one here. Right? They vary in length and size. Let me read you a really short one. This one's called Gardener. This one's making me think of this time right now because it's springtime outside and I'm ready to get outside and do some gardening. So it's called Gardener. "We gave you a chance to water the plants. We didn't mean that way. Now zip up your pants." That one's kind of funny. It has rhyme and the words are written with meaning and thoughtfulness. Let me read you another one. This one's called Remote a Dad. "Just like a TV remote control, except that it works on fathers. You just push the thing that you want him to do, and he does it without any bother. You want him to dance? Push number 5. You want him to sing? Push 7. You want him to raise your allowance a bit? You simply push 11. You want him quiet? Just hit mute. 14 will make him cough. You want him to stop picking on you, yelling and telling you what to do, and stop bossing you for an hour or two? Just push power off." That one's kind of a funny one too. It has a couple rhymes, but it's written in a nice, thoughtful way that makes sense to the reader. So what we're going to do for today is we're going to learn a type of poem, and it's called acrostic poem. So it's a really nice, simple poem. I'm just going to read you forms. So poems come in many different forms, as you sort of saw with the ones that I was reading. So the form of the poem means the style of the poem and the way in which it is written, whether it creates sounds, tells a story, or makes you laugh. So it can tell you a story, it can just be about something, which you'll see today in our acrostic poem, or it can make you laugh, which you can make your poem today make you laugh as well. So that's the definition of a poem and the different types and the forms of poems that they can come in. So today we are going to do an acrostic poem. So let me get set up here. All right, an acrostic poem is one that uses a word, for example, a person's name, and then you use the letters of their name to describe them. So if I were to do, let's do my name, okay? So I'm going to use my name, and I want everybody to use their name for their poem. So you're going to write your name. So my first name is Elise, in case you all forgot. All right, so I write Elise down the side, E-L-I-S-E, and each line is going to tell me something about myself. All right, so let's see, we have to be creative because we have to think of words that start with the letters of our names. So E, I'm going to say, for E, let's write, excited about coffee. You all know how much I love coffee. So my first E is going to tell the readers that Elise gets excited about coffee. See how the E is the first letter of the word I'm starting. Let's go down to L. Let me think. L. Likes to mountain bike. Likes to mountain bike. It's telling you that Elise likes to mountain bike. Now let's go to the I. Let me think of a word that starts with I. Intelligent about science. You all know how much I love science. I'm intelligent about science. That's my other degree, is science. S. Let's see. She smiles a lot. Tells you that Elise smiles a lot. And the last one for E, let's do eyes as blue as the sky. Her eyes are as blue as the sky, telling you something about what she looks like. So I used my name and I created I'll write the names, the poetry. This one is a acrostic. It's called a acrostic poem, where you write down your name and each one has to start with that letter of your name to make yourself a poem. So in your journal, I want you to write down your name and come up with a sentence for each letter in your name. I can't wait to see your poems, and I will see you in the next poetry lesson. I hope that you enjoyed learning about poetry. Bye.